Hi, this is teacher Karen, and today we are going to see models with multiple uses, so please pay attention.
Let's get started with models with multiple uses. So the models that we're going to work with first are those that express certainty. Some of them express very certain situations and others not that certain. That means they are uncertain. So for very certain situations or actions, we can use must have, must not have, couldn't have, can't have, and for uncertainty, we can use might have, may have, could have, may not have, or might not have. So for very certain, we're going to see must have, can have, and also couldn't have first. And notice that all of them are followed by the past participle. Now, must have is used to make a deduction about something that has happened and we feel quite sure about it. We feel sure, but not in 100% that that action happened. So, for example, if you can't find your car keys, you must have left them in the house. Also, can't have, we use it to make a deduction about something that didn't happen in the past based on present evidence. So, for example, we can't have fallen in love with her, she's married. And couldn't have is used for actions or events that we think it definitely didn't happen in the past. And it's the opposite of must have, and it is the past of can't. So here we have three examples. She couldn't have had an accident. She was at home yesterday. So if she was at home yesterday, how come she had an accident, right? The next one, he couldn't have been more than 14 years old. He's too young. And the last one, the meal couldn't have been awful. It was very delicious. So if it's like to express that that action definitely didn't happen because the opposite of the action happened, right? Now, to express uncertainty, we can use might, may, or could have plus the past participle. So we use them to say that something was possible in the past, but we're not sure. For example, I think I saw Sally at the cinema, but I might have been wrong. It was very dark. Or I may have been wrong, or I could have been wrong. It doesn't matter what you use, but what you're trying to say, there's not like a high degree of certainty in this action. And also we can use might have or could have plus past participle to say that something was possible in the past, but we know that it didn't in fact happen. For example, if Mary hadn't been there, my son might have fallen down and hurt himself. He was so lucky. So in this case, we have that the action didn't happen. We also have the models that express obligation, advice, or opinions. Today we're going to focus on should. Should, shouldn't, should have, or shouldn't have. So we have this lady here. The police officer stopped her. We can deduce a couple of examples from that picture. The first one is she should wear a seatbelt. That means is like it's an obligation and it's also an advice that she wears a seatbelt because it protects her life. She shouldn't drive without seatbelt is also presenting an advice or expressing an advice. And she should have worn her seatbelt, but she didn't. So, and she shouldn't have driven without a seatbelt. We're still expressing certain obligation and certain opinion here. So remember that when we use should or shouldn't, we use the base form of the verb. But when we use should have or shouldn't have, we use the past participle. So remember, there are other modal verbs that we can use to express opinions, recommendations, and others. But today we decided to focus on should, may, might, can, could, for you to practice in your houses. But remember that there are more, and you don't have to limit yourself. You can investigate by your own on the websites. And I hope this served your purpose of understanding much better modal verbs for multiple uses.